Shri Ram. In the Bhagavad Gita, this word Shraddha occurs in 3 shlokas: 17.2, 17.3 and 17.13. So now let us quickly look at Shraddha. Shraddha has already been defined by Adi Shankaracharya as Guru Vedantya Vakyeshu Drudho Vishwasaha Shraddha. So now 17.2, let us take a look at this. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Svabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Chetitam Shrunu. There are 3 types of Shraddha. Every human being is born with innate faith. Shraddha, again this word faith is one of a negative connotation. I told you faith actually connotes blind belief, irrational belief, accepting all nonsense simply because it is seemingly found in a holy book, in a seemingly holy book. Now how can lechery, butchery and treachery be holy? That's a simple question, and that will knock them down. They will get angry instead of trying to explain and actually give up that cult. They will get angry, you see, and then they will threaten you with sartan se juda or things like that. So the argument from intimidation is a confession of intellectual impotence. Ayn Rand said the argument from intimidation is a confession of intellectual impotence. I don't want to explain this. Please look up the dictionary to understand if you want. So now let us get out of that. So Shraddha, so Tamasic, Rajasic and Satvik. So no one can be without any Shraddha. You see, a strong person believes in his strength. A beautiful girl will believe that with her beauty she can conquer the world. And right now I am sitting here. Even if I, let us say for a moment, think I am an atheist, the atheist also sits in a room, in a building. He believes that the ceiling is not going to land on his head next minute, because he has faith in the concrete, he has faith in the bricks, he has faith in steel that is holding up the whole building. So even the atheist will tell you that so and so is his father and mother. That is also based on faith. Ask him, did he ever check up whether that is true? Maybe his mother was, I don't want to say it, but now because the discussion is there, maybe his mother was going around and she has also no idea how this fellow was born. But in order not to, let bad reputation stick to her, she would have just said so and so and his father is his father, and this gullible fellow has believed that fellow to be his father. No, no. Did he ever take a DNA test? Is DNA test perfect? No, not at all. Even science is probabilistic, and scientists at least have the humility to understand and accept that what they accept as true today could be debunked tomorrow when a better theory comes up. So scientists have that minimum modesty. They have no certainty. They believe in the probability, right? They believe in probabilities, possibilities, but never any certainty. If you see any scientist who is trying to be very certain, then he is not a scientist. He is a joker. He is a hypocrite. Now, this atheist has no idea. He believes so and so is his mother. What is the proof that she is his mother? Maybe he has been thrown. He is a foundling, an orphan, born out of wedlock, and then maybe the original mother discarded this fellow, and some kind soul picked him up, and then because he was so as a baby, you have no idea who's bringing you up, and this fellow blindly believed that so and so is the parent. Even that is a possibility, isn't it? So this atheist who says, I don't believe religion, I believe only science, that is also a kind of belief. And science, when science itself is saying we don't believe in certainties, then this fellow is indirectly saying that there is nothing certain. That means he himself is not sure about what his parentage is. So this is a very complex situation. These fools will never understand. So you have this what you call Pascal's wager. Please make a note. Pascal's wager. Blaise Pascal was a devout Christian. Sadly, it takes intelligence and courage to get out of that rut called Christianity. So Blaise Pascal's wager is a very interesting concept. So Please look up that. I don't want to spend time on Blaise Pascal's wager. Basically, in short, what Blaise Pascal's wager is, it is safer to bet that God exists, because if God doesn't exist and you believe in God and do anything and everything, there's nothing you lose. But if in case God did exist, God does exist, in case if God does exist, and if you believe that He doesn't, then He is going to kick your ass. So, since there is no way to prove whether God exists or He doesn't, so the risk is greater if you believe that He doesn't exist. I think this much is clear to you now, if you have listened patiently to what I have said. So that is Pascal's wager. So Krishna is talking about Satvik Shraddha, Rajasik Shraddha and Tamasik Shraddha. So scientists are also dogmatic. You see, scientists are dogmatic in thinking that the scientific method is the only way by which truth can be known. That is the dogma, that is the doctrine, that is actually being irrational. How can you say that this is the only way? Are you the arbiter judge? And can there not be other ways too, perhaps better ways? So this close-mindedness is the sign of lack of scientific thinking in the scientist himself. So that scientist is a fake scientist, he is a pseudo-scientist. He is a crap scientist who does not understand science. So now, let us now look at the idea much more closely. In Hinduism, the Vedas take an agnostic position. Nasadiya Suktam. Please make a note. Nasadiya Suktam. And this is a very interesting quote. Professor Charles H. Towns, a Nobel Prize winner in physics, he said, science itself requires faith. Science itself requires faith. We don't know if our logic is correct. I don't know if you are there. You don't know if I am here. You remember that Schrodinger's cat? And quantum mechanics says that this whole universe is a hologram. That means just like what Adi Shankaracharya said, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. So this concept was already known to us. So Hinduism continuously evaluates all concepts, and Hinduism comes to the conclusion that we have knowledge but we have no certainty. And na jaane kis roop mein Narayan mil jaye. So Islam and Christianity say that God is formless, He cannot take a form. That is putting a limitation on God. If God decides to take a form, can we tell God, no, Mr. God, you cannot take a form? So they will not be able to answer this simple question, and then they will get angry, and then they will say Sartan se juda. So that is why it's very difficult to talk to these people. So they don't have an open mind. See, education, the purpose of education is to fill the empty mind to such an extent that it becomes an open mind. Nice quote, isn't it? Education is the process of not actually filling the mind, but that is what is happening right now. They are filling the mind. But education is what remains when everything is forgotten. Some great philosopher said that. So education is filling the mind with a lot of information and knowledge to such an extent that it becomes open to the possibility that anything could be true. Then sets in humility. That is true spirituality. That is true science. Because what we know is virtually nothing. We don't know 1% of 1 millionth of anything, said Thomas Alva Edison. So Charles H. Towns, Nobel Prize winner in physics, said science itself requires faith. We don't know if our logic is correct. I don't know if you are there. You don't know if I am here. You know that brain in a vat thought experiment. Write down. Brain in a vat thought experiment. It means you are thinking that you are seeing everything. Right now I am sitting here, I am seeing everything. It may be possible. What if somebody had isolated my brain and kept it in a vat, in a tank, with all the required amino acid solution to keep the brain alive, and electrodes have been fixed to different parts of my brain, stimulating the brain so that the brain gets different sensations of sight, sound and all the panchendriyas, and the brain is under the illusion that it is actually living in some reality. So that's called the brain in a vat thought experiment. So it could be that you are actually a dead brain kept alive using technology, and you are thinking that you are a person and you are watching the whole of the universe. It's really terrifying, isn't it? What if that is true? And we are thinking, that is why Adi Shankara Acharya talks about that snake and the rope analogy. You think it's a snake, it's actually a rope. There's no snake there. But then, the catch here is, if you are thinking that it could be a snake, then that means there must have been a snake somewhere first for you to think that there is something called a snake. All these things are there. Let us leave it there. That's why Nasadiya Suktam, Veda takes an agnostic position. We don't know. We don't know. All that we know is that we don't know. Yes, we have some ideas. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. At some point the mind will return, the senses will return and raise their hands up in desolation. They will say, sorry, we cannot. So God is inscrutable. Krishna Maya is inscrutable. And so we would like to be good human beings, but we know that everything in the universe is running according to some laws. You cannot violate the laws. You cannot break the law. You can break yourself against the law. This is Sattvic Shraddha. So I am repeating what Charles H. Towns said. Science itself requires faith. We don't know if our logic is correct. I don't know if you are there. You don't know if I am here. We may just be imagining all this. I have a faith that the world is what it seems like, and thus I believe you are there. I can't prove it from any fundamental point of view. Yet I have to accept a certain framework in which to operate. The idea that religion is faith and science is knowledge, I think, is wrong. We scientists believe in the existence of the external world and validity of our own logic. We feel quite comfortable about it. Nevertheless, these are acts of faith. We can't prove them. Whether one is a material scientist, a social scientist, spiritual scientist, one cannot avoid the leap of faith. You can never avoid the leap of faith required in the acceptance of knowledge. Krishna is explaining the same thing. So, you see, when we get back, and Krishna says, Sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. Shraddha mayoyam purusho yoyat shraddha sayevasaha. 17.3. Krishna is saying, now that we have understood that you cannot not have faith or cannot not have shraddha. You have some shraddha. Everyone has shraddha. The idiot has the faith that he is knowledgeable. So everyone live. Even the atheist, like I already told you, is believing that so and so is his mother, so and so is his father, and if he thinks he can prove it, again he is wrong, because science itself is based on probabilities. The atheist is thinking that the ceiling will not land on his head. That is faith in the ceiling. I gave you all these examples. Then Krishna is now saying that one thing you have to accept, that Shraddha is fundamental. Even the dog has Shraddha in its master. What if the master is a psychopath and it might kill the dog? But the dog feels so confident, trusts the master also. So let us leave it here. Please understand that one firm conviction you must have is that everyone has some conviction. Now this conviction can vary. It can be sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. That's what Krishna is saying. Sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. Shraddha mayoyam purusha yoyat shraddha sayevasaha. Yavadi shraddha ala unte vada ala untadu. Andarilo shraddha untundi. The shraddha of all humans conforms to the nature of their mind. All people possess Shraddha, and whatever the nature of their faith, that is verily they are. And some people believe that God is a bloodthirsty monster who wants the blood of chicken and goats. They are cutting. But at least one thing is, they believe that there is some higher power. Those people are worse who think that there is no higher power. So this fellow has entered the LKG, lower kindergarten. And there is a fellow who might be UKG. And then there will be primary schooler, middle schooler, and PhD. A true Hindu, a Sanatani, one who follows Bhagavad Gita, is actually doing PhD in religion. All the other religions are in the LKG. Christianity and Islam are in the LKG, because they have at least accepted that there is some higher power. But they are indulging in Rajasic and Tamasic faith. Rajasic and Tamasic activities, because they are pulling God down to their level of thinking. We have to lift ourselves up. Devo bhutva devam yajet. Devo bhutva devam yajet. If you want to worship God, you must become like a God. You can understand Einstein if you are a scientist. Otherwise you will think Einstein was a weird fellow with that stupid hairstyle, and that's all you know. You cannot appreciate Einstein. So only a person initiated in Carnatic, Hindustani, classical, 72 scales. Western music has only 7 scales. 72 Melakarta ragas, Dhanya ragas. The number of ragas are innumerable. So Western music is a dwarf, a midget, a pygmy compared to Hindustani classical or Carnatic classical. Now, a person who has been listening to Bollywood, Bollywood music and Tollywood, filmy music, popular music, which is nothing but crap and raunch culture, with some repeated beats and some drumming, it is also okay. Once in a while you can shake a leg. But these are not evergreen, they are not classics. They will die out. So, if to appreciate Carnatic music, you need to do some sadhana. Riyaz karna padta hai 20-25 saal. Riyaz is the Urdu word, lovely word. Sadhana. 20-25 years of study, research, practice, 10,000 hours of practice or more than 10,000 hours of practice. Then you will appreciate the rasa. Oh, when I listen to Tyagaraja's songs, I go into a trance. That is the though unfortunately I don't have any great knowledge in Carnatic music. I am just listening, and over the years, Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatpara samyatendriya jnanam labdva param shantim achirena adhigacchati. Shriyan dravyamayad yajna jnana yajna parantapa sarvam karma akilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Krishna says, eventually, even if you are unlettered, ignorant, by continuously consuming, slowly you will arrive at a stage where you can understand what you are consuming. Then the rasa will dawn on you. Rasa is an untranslatable word. It can mean the quintessence or sheer joy. So some people, have faith in money. So they spend all their time getting more money. Finally, when they die, when they are about to die, all their money cannot stretch their life by 1 minute or 1 hour. So then there are politicians, then there are people who think everything is power, we need more power. So they'll do everything to get to political posts and all designations. What is the use? Finally they will discover that even this effort was wasted. So then there are, Maslow's need hierarchy. Self-actualization. Some people live only for self-actualization. Some people are stuck at the roti, kapda, makan stage. Maslow was wrong but Maslow gave us a wonderful theory. I don't deny that. But Maslow's limitations are very clear. The Maslow's triangle, if you see, the triangle of needs or need hierarchy triangle. The first one is basic needs, roti, kapda, makan. And Maslow claims that once these needs are satisfied, then the person goes to the next level, which is the security needs. That means he doesn't want his wealth to be stolen, and all security for liberty, security. So once all types of security needs are satisfied, then Maslow claims that the next need comes up, which is the social needs. Then that means he wants society to respect him. So then Maslow claims that once these social needs are satisfied, then the next need that arises is self-esteem needs. That means a man one day will wake up after all the social needs are satisfied. Then he will wake up and ask himself, do I really deserve to be respected? Then I believe the man will launch into some activity in order to really make himself worthy of respecting himself. There is a great poem, The Man in the Glass. Read that poem. So, the man in the glass means the man in the mirror. That means Maslow claims that once this self-esteem needs will make people start thinking like that. And then once this self-esteem need is satisfied, Maslow claims that the next need that will come up is the self-actualization need, which is the man will start thinking that I must be all that I can be, achieve the highest level of perfection. I must be all that I can be. We all have infinite potentials and we will then try. But all this theory is wonderful. But the truth is, every theory has so many exceptions. In fact, the truth of the matter is very few people actually go through this entire hierarchy step by step. Now I'll tell you how Maslow is wrong. There are many people who are living at the most basic level. Any amount of roti, kapda, makan, they are living only for that. They want more to eat. They will eat Italian, they will eat Mexican, they will go around the world eating all the food that is available. They will go to Thailand and have lot of sex. Even that is not enough. They want more, and all kinds of disgusting varieties they will try. Roti, kapda, fashion. So you see the wardrobes are bursting with clothes, but they will go and buy new clothes, new fashion. Some idiot will set this fashion, this idiot will go snobbery, and all the celebrities are selling different types of fashions on TV, and young people's minds are getting corrupted. So we are living our entire life for roti kapda makan. And if you see conversations in families also, when they meet, it is roti kapda makan. What you bought, what you ate, where you went, what you saw, what you drank, this is what is happening. So people have not risen beyond that level at all. And then there are some who are always obsessed about security, when actually security doesn't exist. You can die at any minute, but they will buy life insurance. That's the biggest fraud. Then some people who reach that level, or some people live only for that. See, Maslow is flawed in many respects. Then some people live only for society, or some people get stuck after reaching that stage where they expect respect from society. So they will build statues for themselves. While living also, Mayavati ji built a statue for herself, and she showered flower petals on herself. And many crooks, many criminal families are building huge statues for their criminal fathers who died. A criminal dies, he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. Dies a horrible death like a Rakshasa. But the son is constructing huge statues for this rowdy shitter, criminal. And this is how it is going on. Social need. Then the self-actualization. There are some who will reach that, and they will get stuck there. Some who live only for self-actualization. Nathuram Godse is my example of a person who lived only for self-actualization. Gandhi is a hypocrite. I will not include him. He pretended to be working for self-actualization while actually riding roughshod on all ethical values. So Subhash Chandra Bose lived for self-actualization. Bhagat Singh lived only for self-actualization. He was never bothered about roti, kapda, makan, or who is respecting me. No security need, no social need, no self-esteem need. He already had sufficient self-esteem. He worked only for self-actualization. Chhatrapati Shivaji. The list is endless. And we have named roads after Babar, Humayun. All these fellows were drug addicts and pederasts and all kinds of negative characters, vicious villains of history, instead of naming them after the real heroes. So I am really deeply depressed and fed up, and I am waiting for some day where I can be given the full freedom so that I can launch a frontal attack on all these disgusting cults which are actually ruining not just our country, the whole world. And many great people who know the truth don't have the courage to speak the truth. I am also speaking in euphemisms, as you can see. So Krishna in 17.3, what is he saying? Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayoyam purusho yoyaj Shraddha sayeva saha. Ni Shraddha la unta nu ala untavu. So some people have Shraddha in a ghost, so they will worship ghosts and even slaughter humans. Human sacrifice is also there. In the Bible it is there. Actually Jesus is nothing but a human sacrifice. The lamb, Jesus is called the lamb. The lamb has been sacrificed. And Abraham wanted to sacrifice his son, but God last minute saved the son, Isaac, and brought a lamb. Now just imagine if you get a dream where suddenly God comes into your dream and says, please sacrifice your son or daughter or wife or father or mother. What would you do? You will dismiss that as some kind of a dangerous dream, and you will get your head checked up. You will go to a psychiatrist actually. And psychiatrist will tell you, no, please don't do such things. You can't sacrifice your son or daughter. That will be amounting to murder. So you can't. The law will not allow it. But then the whole religion is based on this. And if you ask questions, they will get angry. And nobody has the courage to ask some simple questions. That's why I started a playlist called Devil's Advocacy. Slowly you will find that we will take the courage to expose them bit by bit, very politely. We should agree to disagree agreeably. Sanatana Dharma teaches me to be polite. We have to politely speak the truth. There is no need to abuse anybody. So the quality of your faith depends on the nature of your mind. Krishna has clearly confirmed this. And then Shraddha occurs in 17:13. 17th chapter 13. Vidhihinam asrushthannam mantrahinam adakshinam Shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasam pari chakshate. You must have understood. Incidentally, the Sanskrit in Bhagavad Gita is so very simple. बहुत सरल है. विधिहीनम कोई तरीका नहीं. Vidhinam Vidhinam Arishtanam Vidhinam Asrushtanam Vidhinam Asrushtanam Mantrahinam Adakshinam Shraddha Virahitam Yajnam Tamasam Parichakshate. Vidhinam, no scriptural direction. Arishtanam, without any distribution of prasad. Mantrahinam, no chanting of Vedic mantras or Bhagavad Gita. Adakshinam, no proper remuneration given to all the people who served the priest and all the others. No Shraddha. Virahitam, all these sacrifices, and sacrifice is a stupid word for yajnam. Tamasam Parichakshate is to be considered as tamasikam. So you will find people are doing all kinds of rituals. They are thinking that God is going to be pleased with this. They are actually committing crimes and inviting more papam, and they are getting trapped in this whirlpool, the maelstrom, Maelstrom, gun chakkar. It's a huge whirlpool, the whirlpool, karmic whirlpool. Please make a note. That's a nice phrase. Karmic whirlpool, Karmic whirlpool. They are stuck in the whirlpool of karma and birth and rebirth and death, and once you are born you have to suffer 9 months in the womb. So this nonsense is going on and on and on, and because of their ego they are not able to come out of it. So please develop Satvik Shraddha. Become a friend of Krishna, and Krishna is already our friend. Try to live by the Gita. So we have discussed this Shraddha. Shraddha, I am summarizing, occurs in the Bhagavad Gita in 17.2, 17.3 and 17.13. Shraddha is defined by Adi Shankaracharya as Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Drudho Vishwasaha Shraddha. And who is the Guru? Jagat Guru, Krishna. So study, listen, mull over, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana of Bhagavad Gita. Vedanta. Vedanta is the wisdom of the Vedas in all the Upanishads. And where is Vedanta available? In the Bhagavad Gita. So again Bhagavad Gita. So have Shraddha in this. Start living it. Then you will see the joy. Loka Sangraham, Ramarajyam. The whole world should be saffronized, and Hindu Rashtra, not just India. Earth will become Hindu Rashtra, because then people can live in peace. Because Hinduism does not conduct inquisitions, no proselytization, no persecution, peaceful amity, comity, prosperity, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We see Rama, we see God in everyone, not just a human, in the animal, in the bacteria, in the virus, in the rat, pig, tree, even in stones, which is confirmed by double slit experiment. Consciousness is the ultimate reality. Therefore my conclusion, based on my firm conviction, is Hinduism, only Hinduism can save the world. Unless everyone in the world becomes a Hindu, these wars will continue. Misogyny, misanthropy, pederasty, pedophilia, death of innocents, children getting killed and used as sexual objects, and all kinds of diseases, biological weapons, all these karuna weapons, all these things people will continue to produce as long as Bhagavad Gita is not internalized. Internalize Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise you cannot save yourself, let alone saving humanity. Jai Shri Ram.